Welcome back to the Driveway Beers podcast with Mike and Alex. As always, we appreciate you listening. Please rate us on all the podcast platforms. Like, subscribe, comment, share wherever else you're listening. And all right, welcome back to another episode. We appreciate you coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share if you can on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Please leave us a rating. 1 to 5 stars. It doesn't matter which one of those stars you choose. We appreciate anything that you can do. This is episode 152, by the way. We keep chugging along here. Interesting time, right? And this is end of February. And you were talking to me about something really interesting, so I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah, so the Julian Assange had his extradition hearing in London, and they were still waiting on the results to come back for that hearing. And when all that first broke, the media, essentially their handlers in the government or vice versa, however it is, the corporate overlords pretty much said Julian Assange was a bad guy. He was a spy. He, stole vital U.S. secrets and sold them. And I believed all of it. And then when people would say, oh, well, it's wrong that he's in jail and he's a journalist and he's this and he's exposing the wrongdoings of the government. No, the government doesn't do anything wrong. This is he's a spy. He should be punished. You can't wait to catch him, put him on trial. But now that I've kind of seen more of the true colors, and because there are independent journalists and ways to get news out there, my opinion on the matter has completely flipped. And now I see Assange more as, someone who's been tried for exposing the misdeeds and the wrongdoing of the government, the intelligence community. And it's so I think back and I think, how much other stuff did I believe and hold as true because of I was just believing whatever the corporate media told me. I thought it was great to go after Saddam Hussein. Now I look back and I'm like, that was probably a pretty bad idea. The wars I supported, all this stuff that I no longer support at all. But again, there wasn't this independent voice. There were no independent voices or opinions. Everything you got came from the legacy media. So it was just it's just interesting to look back and kind of see where you were, and then also be able to admit, hey, that's where I was, and now I'm here, and how did I get here, and what flipped and what made me turn. So.
And for people who don't know who Julian Assange, or who he is, he was the guy that founded a company called WikiLeaks, which essentially would just publish communications between internal government communications and communications between governments. I believe, initially when the news came out, they said he was getting this stuff illegally. And that was he got it illegally. How could he put this out there? Apparently, though, a lot of the stuff, he wasn't the one who was active in getting it. He was the receiver of it.
Right.
Meaning someone else was the one who got it and gave it to him. So then they said he was publishing stolen documents.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time it was the smokescreen for what the documents actually said.
Yeah.
And I believe it was what exposed, I guess, some nefarious military actions in Baghdad.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it exposed some of the Benghazi stuff that happened, or what didn't happen there, to protect the people that were there. They were U.S. citizens. So the powers that be were more upset with the fact that he was publishing these things.
Yeah.
Rather than getting them and turning them back over, he was getting them and showing everybody else in the world via his website, and they were saying, and he was saying, look at how corrupt these people are. Mm-hmm. And of course, the powers that be didn't want a light shown in the corruption.
Yeah.
And so then it was all out war. I mean, this guy has been detained since 2019.
Yeah.
I believe the first cables that he got and released were from 2010, because I'm just going to read the Wikipedia page about the guy. He came to wide international attention in 2010 when WikiLeaks published a series of leaks from U.S. Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning, who was Bradley Manning.
Yeah.
And then had an epiphany before he went to jail that he was all of a sudden a woman.
And he's been released.
Yes.
She is gone. He's no longer. So the person that actually stole it's out of jail.
They're out of jail. Apparently, Chelsea Manning handed over footage of a U.S. airstrike in Baghdad, U.S. military logs from the Afghanistan and Iraqi wars, and U.S. diplomatic cables, which I believe was the Benghazi stuff about, hey, we need you. Oh, sorry. No, we're not going to help you.
Yeah.
And he published those things. So he didn't obtain someone else got them and gave them to him, right? And you're right. The initial person who stole the documents is free.
Yeah.
Not him, though. But you know what happened. Manning played ball. Mm-hmm. Took a deal.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, like, the powers that be made Assange out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Regardless of what... They never said the information was false.
Right. They never denied any of it.
Never.
Yeah.
So, don't look over here at this stuff. Mm-hmm. Look at this bad guy who published it.
Yeah. And then...
What?
And then there was some Swedish rape allegation that came out shortly thereafter. So it's like they just take it. It's like when they see something they don't like, right? They'll go and they'll, like Russell Brand. They had some lady came and said that he sexually assaulted her, and Russell Brand was like, "Yeah, I was a drug, like I don't sexually assault anyone, but I was a drug addict and probably did a lot of shitty things, you know." So, but they loved Russell Brand when he was a drug addict and a movie star.
You notice how that's kind of their go-to. Mm-hmm. So, what's the guy? I think was it Dan Kavanaugh? Not Dan Kavanaugh. The Supreme Court Justice.
Brett Kavanaugh.
All of a sudden, a lady comes out, like during his confirmation, a lady comes out of nowhere who can't really remember what happened back in high school 40 years ago, but they label him as a sexual predator.
Yep.
Can't corroborate any of it. Then Russell Brand, sexual predator. Girl can't corroborate any of it. There was one more. I can't think of it.
Well, they have the one with Donald Trump right now.
That's what, E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah.
Can't remember, like, doesn't recall any of it.
And apparently has made allegations like this against all kinds of other people, too, who are rich and powerful. And, you know, is one of those or two of those guys a shitbird, maybe done something like this? Yeah, but all of these guys decided to sexually assault her. Like,
right.
Not at the same time.
Right.
It wasn't some douche billionaire circle jerk. It was separate people, unrelated, different occasions, places.
She can't remember any of it, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't recall, doesn't have any... I'm not going to get... I don't want to get into that.
But when Brett Kavanaugh was going through his thing, I was still brainwashed by the legacy media. So I was like, yeah, get this guy. Fuck him. He's a douchebag. And then once I kind of started seeing how... And mainly it was through listening to podcasts and other forms of media. I was like, you notice that trend. That they just... It's like this playbook. They just pull out... Like they have the OC up in the box. He's like... Run 34 rocket on, where it's a short yardage third down situation. We run the same play every time. And they do, you know.
It's shocking, though. Like, I've never put the three together.
Yeah.
Or
they say you're racist, like they did to Joe Rogan.
Right.
They brought and which just blew up in their face. They tried to take Rogan down twice. They tried to take him down once with the COVID when ivermectin stuff, and they changed his face to make him look yellow and all that. And then they did with the race, and his followers exploded.
Well, and the funny part with Rogan was they not only went after him, but they try to deplatform is not the right word. Deprofessionalized the doctors and the professionals that went on his show.
Oh yeah.
So Pierre Corey, Brett Weinstein. Like as soon as they went on his show and said anything contrary to the narrative, they immediately try to decredential the person.
Yeah.
And get them fired.
Robert Malone, Dr. McCullough. I think Robert Malone holds the patent on the mRNA technology and is the most published person on the subject in the world.
There was a guy in England, Dr. John Campbell. People probably recognize him from his YouTube videos that other people have played. Because all John Campbell would do is he would take studies from Europe and other countries outside of the U.S. that raise questions about the mRNA vaccines, that raise questions about COVID. And that dude they shit on him. This guy didn't care, though, because he's not a practicing physician anymore. I think he's in his 60s or 70s. If you ever... as soon as you see a video of him, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Jimmy Dore has shown a couple of his videos. He just goes on. He takes the studies and the findings, and he just says, look at here, look at here, look at here. This can show that. And then he was basically taking the confusing words from the study and breaking it down for a layperson to understand. This is what this means. This is what this means. Or this is what this could bring into question. Or he wasn't like saying anything outright, but he was saying this looks funny. This looks funny. Yeah. But they just they decredit the guy. He says, "Oh, he's a quack. He's a loon." Robert Malone was a quack and a loon. Yeah. You know, and Brett Weinstein. Well, what is he? You know, what kind of a doctor is he? You know, he's not a medical doctor. No, he's a virologist, though. That specializes in viruses, for fuck's sake.
And his brother's a evolutionary biologist.
Right.
Like, these are pretty smart people.
Like, they study how diseases, how they, how
they evolve.
Yes. Thank you.
Mutate.
I can't think of words.
Yeah.
Words are hard right now. It's the one shot of the McKenna bourbon you brought. Which, by the way, I was... A long time ago, I told you I liked the McKenna 10-year. So, this is the McKenna regular. I just call it the regular, the unleaded, the 87, if you will. This is a 40% alcohol by volume. Apparently, McKenna is done by Bardstown. Interesting. Although, I guess the McKenna's got their own distillery, but I guess Bardstown's just a place in Kentucky.
Yeah. A
few distillers are, but I'm a huge fan of the 10-year. But this, you said this bottle, this is a... Where's the liters on this thing?
It's 750.
750 ml. 1250, you said.
On the shelf, $11.99.
Out the door, $12.50.
Yeah.
Maybe 13 if we're being generous.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at this.
It
was
surprising.
This is probably... I'm going to say this is probably with the Four Roses for me. And it's cheaper than the Four Roses. I mean, I do like the Four Roses, though, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But this is in the ballpark.
Yeah.
This is in that ballpark.
Yeah, that was... It was surprising. When I got it. So it's one of those gems you find in that sub $20 range at the very bottom of the shelf.
It's got that little sour taste. Like it does have. It says sour mash on it, so it does have like a little bit of a taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's smooth.
Yeah.
There's no bite to it. It's got flavor. It sticks around for a minute. Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Especially for $12.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
No, it's funny, man. Like I'm still on that DMV bourbon page on Facebook, and the douchebags calling it juice, and they're going and grab like the $200-$300 bottle. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like, look, don't get me wrong. Obviously, we did the taste test. The $60 bottle tasted better than the $20. I get that.
Yeah.
But is it $40 better to me?
Mm-hmm.
Never mind, $140 better to me? I don't know. Not what I'm trying. Like, I'm literally having with some ginger ale. Although I did try it on ice first by itself. You could easily drink that on ice for a night.
Mm-hmm.
Be perfectly happy. With ginger ale, perfect mixer. I don't know, man. Our new friends might change my mind about the higher priced bourbons, because maybe we just haven't had the right one.
Yeah.
But then maybe those are for more of a special occasion, right? I don't know. But look, man, if you're just trying to get a little buzz on,
yeah,
$12, man.
No, I mean, and if it sucks, it's $12. I mean, make some old fashions with it, or some whiskey sours or whatever. Put it in ginger ale,
I'll tell you what, that with some ginger ale,
yeah,
I'm all right. I'm probably gonna be asleep in 5 minutes, but that's good. That's a great thing to say 15 minutes into a show, right? I'm gonna be asleep in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's gonna be you talking into a microphone for the rest. But yeah, back to with Assange. I put him in. Him and the Snowden thing kind of happened in the same time.
Yeah,
they did different things. They were upset about both guys for different reasons, right?
Yeah. So Edward Snowden, I think, actually physically took. He had top secret clearance and actually took the top secret stuff, where Assange never actually took it. Snowden did. Snowden was a contractor.
But the value in what Snowden did was he made the people aware of what the program was. Mm-hmm. I don't care if he took it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. But for me, the value of the information that he gave us was that he basically said, look, all those devices you have, the small devices in your pockets, the one on your wrist, the iPad, the tablet, the TV, the laptop with the camera, well, your government can turn those on at any time. Mm-hmm. They can listen in on anything that they want to. And, the Patriot Act gives them flat out immunity to do everything.
Well, like even the Patriot Act, like stuff like that, and there are people out there who are so afraid. They want the government. They're like, "Oh, we're not doing anything wrong, and you don't have nothing to fear." Well, the problem is, as we've seen recently, they decide they don't like you. They find something wrong that you've done. Stalin said, "Find me the man, and I'll find the crime that fits it." Mm-hmm. And right, wrong, or indifferent, what they did to Donald Trump up in New York is a perfect example of that. There's no victim. There's no victim to that crime.
Yeah, well, never mind that. Let's get into that one a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there are people that will argue night to day that what he did was wrong to get that loan. Mm-hmm. He didn't do shit. That's not how loans work, where I can just go into a bank and say, you know what, my house is worth $1 million. I want you to make a loan on $1 million. I don't get to assess my own property. Mm-hmm. He didn't get to assess Mar-a-Lago. The bank, which he did business with, which, by the way, is in no way suing him. The
loan was paid back.
They're not unhappy with the loan. Yeah. They're perfectly happy with it and would do business with him again. They said that in court.
Yeah.
They paid for an assessor to go and assess the value of the property, mm-hmm. so that the bank could then go make a loan against that dollar amount.
Yeah.
They say, the people that are coming after him are saying, well, he inflated the price for this loan. No, it doesn't matter what he puts on his tax documents. That could be a taxable issue, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as the loan goes, the bank then determines the value.
Yeah.
Because it's their loan. If he then, let's say they valued it at $4 billion, and then he decided that for tax purposes, he's only going to put on there that it's only worth $2 billion. That people are saying, well, he's now defrauding the government and the taxes and all. Whoa, slow down now. If you're going to go after, and I'm not saying whether that's true or not. I don't know, right? But if you're going to go after one rich dude for putting numbers on his tax return, mm-hmm. Okay, well, which politician and rich guy are we going after next?
Yeah.
I don't see any other people lined up for this.
And how
shit.
much time do you have to do this?
Right.
It's going to take forever.
Right. And you're telling me it just so happens to be on the former president of the United States, who happens to be running for president again, against the opposition party who's in power.
Yeah, and the opposition party, of whom the New York district attorney is a member of, pretty much campaigned on hating Donald Trump.
Right. You're telling me that's not political retribution?
There's a mashup of her saying all the times that she hates Donald Trump, but then she said, this isn't about, this has nothing to do with my feelings for Donald Trump. This has to do with the law. This is the one time you cared about applying the law fairly ever in your entire career.
And the weirdest part about this is that you've got people on the left, the diehard Democrats, are saying, if Donald Trump becomes president again, he's going to go after all the Democrats that went against him. So he's going to do to them what they're doing to him.
Yeah.
And you're going to be pissed at him?
Yeah.
Not the people. I equate this, and I've said this a million times. Even as someone who's voted Democrat before, the Democrats cut their nose to spite their face all the damn time. Yeah. It's always short-term gain, never long-term gain. Mm-hmm. Never. And the biggest example of this was when Harry Reid changed the rules in the Senate to allow for Supreme Court justices to be approved on a majority-only vote.
Yeah.
It used to be 60. Now it's 51 because Harry Reid got that changed when he was the head of the Senate.
Yeah. And Mitch McConnell said, you're going to regret this.
His exact words were that.
Yep.
They did it for when Hillary became president. Mm-hmm. Well, she didn't become president. Donald Trump did, and he got 3 Supreme Court justices.
Yeah.
Harry Reid gave Republicans 3 Supreme Court justices. Don't get that shit twisted.
Yeah.
Because he tried to take a shortcut. Because they didn't, at the time, Democrats thought Hillary's going to win. We're going to put 3 super liberal judges on the court, and we're going to get all this shit done.
Yeah.
And it fucking backfired.
Oh, that blew up in their face bad.
And they do this shit over and over and over again. And that's what's happening right now. And look, I don't have a crystal ball. But shit, I've seen this game before. I've seen this exact playbook. You're going to go after a former president. You try to get him over some bullshit about the files in his bathroom. You're trying to get him over some bullshit tax stuff. You're trying to get him over some shit about election because of a phone call he made to Brian Kemp, of which most people have only heard parts of it. Mm-hmm. Because it's been doctored.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, the DA's corrupt as fuck.
Yeah.
Because she basically paid her boyfriend. She literally gave her boyfriend a $400,000 contract to come up with the case against Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. He's a contract. Anytime you've got a contractor that's in it for a contract, yes, they're going to come up with whatever you want.
Yeah, what do you
so
want?
They get the next contract. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you're fucking him too. Behind your husband's back.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, well, what's wrong? And the whole thing was like, well, we got paid in cash. What's wrong? All these millionaires have cash. What's wrong with the black lady has cash? What's wrong with that? She got $6 million in cash, 400 something cash.
Yeah.
Yo, you got to put some money in the bank. You got to disguise some of this shit.
Yeah.
But I don't care about any of that. I don't. My thing is, you have now set the precedent.
Yeah.
You better hope he doesn't win, because man, I wouldn't be shocked if every single politician, and I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican, he doesn't like any of them. Mm-hmm. If they all ended up on some charges for some tax evasion, you know how easy it is to get someone for tax evasion? Yeah. If you want to get someone for tax evasion, you'll find some shit for some tax evasion. Mm-hmm. All they got to do is go to the freaking Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
Check out those bank accounts. Like, if you've ever seen the movie The Laundromat, you'll know exactly how they do this shit. It's shell company after shell company. There's literally a guy on YouTube that explains how the trust works. You literally create one company, you create a family trust, and then you create a business trust. And the family trust can send money to the business trust tax-free. And then you could take all the money you want from that. Mm-hmm. So you literally make yourself a 5% partner in a company. The trust is a 95% partner, which, by the way, you control. You're literally paying taxes on 5% of the business income. Mm-hmm. All of your income, you pay only 5%.
Yeah.
You're paying 32% on 5% of that.
Right.
You're paying peanuts. You're getting 95% tax-free. And all these rich motherfuckers do it. Mm-hmm. And they got shell companies on shell companies doing this shit. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen The Laundromat, you can go see how fucked up this shit is. And the thing that you're going to do it to one guy who happens to be the ex-president, who happens to be running for president again. Right. And all the people, and all of the prosecutors and judges that are currently in the system doing this happen to be on the same team as the opposition. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me that shit's coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, now they don't even hide the corruption. They don't even hide it. Like, it's just out there. They used to pretend to hide it, and now they don't even pretend to hide it. Like, it's just, oh yeah, we're doing this, and because they know that no one's gonna question them on it. They're just gonna keep doing it. So,
I guess my question is,
the people whose job it is to uncover this stuff, which would be the media, have completely absconded in their duties. Do you have me that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the media lost, man. They've been called out so many times.
So have you ever heard Jimmy Dore's? He does those mashups where you could tell like they all got the same memo. Mm-hmm. So I guess a recent thing is when the judge said that, or not the judge. It was an independent prosecutor, special counsel, who was appointed by Merrick Garland, who was appointed by Joe Biden, went and said that essentially Joe Biden does not have the mental faculty to stand trial for the documents. The same thing they tried to charge Trump with.
Yep.
So, of course, the media had to go into defense mode, damage control. It's like I can see the media ship with a bunch of people with Warby Parker glasses on, running around like wah, wah, general quarters, like running around. Protect the mothership. So they have to go protect Uncle Joe. So the memo came out, and all the talking heads were saying, "Oh, that decision was gratuitous." And they kept all of them saying how gratuitous it was. It's like, well, you guys you're reading from the same script. You're not even pretending anymore.
Like nobody could think of a different word.
Yeah.
Than gratuitous.
Yeah. They literally got the same memo.
Well, so it came out that the leader of the Lincoln Project, which is a huge Democrat PAC, mm-hmm. They sent a memo out to all the Democrat operatives. And they basically said, "Hey, it's not enough for you all to just say he's not Trump. You have to say he's a great president."
Yeah.
You have to say the economy is good. It's like, here's the propaganda you need to push out. Mm-hmm. And we're the money behind this, so you better push it out.
His age is his superpower.
Yeah. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
like, the funny part is, like, these people don't think the internet exists. They don't think opportunists exist. Like, oh no, this is John. He's been a staffer for 3 years.
Yeah.
Completely loyal. Meanwhile, this motherfucker's getting all the memos and just passing it on. Mm-hmm. Guys, check this out. Yeah. Look at these assholes. Or check this out.
Or just holding on to it.
Right.
For when they piss him off.
Right, and they will piss him off.
Yeah.
They won't give him the raise. They won't give Johnny the appointment that he wanted. They won't give him the GS-15 at the Department of the Interior doing some dumbass shit.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be done. You know, or they're not going to give him, the undersecretary for, thigh highs. Mm-hmm. Like that one guy who was stealing all the luggage.
Yeah.
With women's clothes in it. Like, that guy's completely loyal, right? We'll just give him all the documents. Mm-hmm. And then 6 months later, he's going to turn on you because you turned on him. Because they're not loyal to anybody. Mm-hmm. No one in politics is. It's all opportunists.
Yeah.
And if he's just going to literally release everything because you're assholes to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, the funny part, like, anyone who knows who James O'Keefe is, he was Project Veritas.
Yeah.
And then that was his company, he got booted from it, started OMG, which is the dumbest fucking name. OMG Media.
Yeah.
Or because I guess his name, O'Keefe Media Group, was OMG. Like, you dummy. Like,
oh my God.
Right, yeah. Like, did you think that was a cool name? Yeah. Like, you probably thought of that one night when you were drunk, thought, this is awesome.
Yeah.
People are going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get it, and they think you're a fucking idiot.
The 22-year-old intern you were tagging thought it was like, oh my God, like, I have an idea. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all the legitimate people who are looking to you for real fucking media now have to say they're getting their media from OMG Media Group, you douchebag.
Right.
Like, beside the fact, how he gets these people to get on camera and just spill their fucking guts. Mm-hmm. I think it's a stereo. Like, I guess they use dating apps. And these people, like, are you just spilling all the secrets on the first date? Like, or is it, like, I would love to know, is this date 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Like, they're obviously not in a committed relationship. Right? And this person's just spilling it all. Like the ego on some of these people is crazy. It's like, oh yeah, we fucked over everybody. Yeah. Hi, I'm John. I work for Twitter. Yeah. We suppressed everybody, and the FBI was asking us to do it. We did it. Like, wow, you just fucking spilled that on day 2? On the second date? Mm-hmm. Like, I hope you got some head for that.
Yeah.
Because you certainly don't have a career anymore.
Right. Yeah. I hope that ass was worth it.
Right. Apparently, you were just getting dates on Tinder and Grindr, and they were just spilling their guts. Yeah. Like, my God, like, were they just that hurt up to talk to somebody? Like, they just wanted to tell the secret that bad. It's like, hey, stranger, in a public place that I never heard about, and boy, those glasses look awfully thick. There's probably not a camera in there. Or, like, how do you not see the camera? I mean, I get it. Cameras can be tiny and whatnot, but, like, I just don't know, man. It's like, you know this person 7 days, and you're just talking about all the nefarious shit you've done.
Running your mouth.
Yeah. Like, you would not make good criminals. Yeah. Like, day 2. Yeah. We laundered this money off the coast of Mexico. Yeah. I got a big shipment of dope coming in Miami.
This guy.
Yeah. I killed 7 people. This is where they're buried, too. Like, what the hell? You just trust everybody with this information. Nobody's untrustworthy to you. Amazing human being.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the thing is, though, those people aren't the ones that I think are the big deal. It's the fact that there is no fourth estate. There's no check. It was like the one that could check all the powers was the media. But then you think, okay, well, when did it turn? And I'm willing to bet that it has always been like this.
I think you're right.
It's just nobody knew it. They figured, but there were investigative journalists back in the day. There really are none. Well, there are some now. They're the podcasters and the bloggers and the Substackers and things like that. But look at what they did to Matt Taibbi. Matt Taibbi was a regular in Rolling Stone. And he goes against the fold and unceremoniously booted out. There's all kinds of journalists from New York Times, all the big newspapers that have been kicked out because they went against the narrative, against the company line. So, it's when I see a story come up. So of course, like Apple has like Apple News. Mm-hmm. It comes up as like Washington Post. I'm like that. It has no credibility to me.
Yeah, but the funny part though is if you say you read the Washington Examiner or some other New York Post, people just discredit those too though.
Yeah,
and like at what point is it okay? Well, where can we get news from for crying out loud? Like without the spin, like. And the funny part is there was a USA Today article. I don't even remember what it was on, right? But they didn't put the word. It was an opinion article. They didn't put that in there in the RSS feed. Like it didn't say USA Today opinion. It just said USA Today and said the title. And I was like, well, let me read through. Like it couldn't have been anything further from journalism. It was an opinion piece.
Yeah.
And it's just like, look, if you're going to, there was opinion sections in newspapers for a reason. The newspaper part of it was for news. There's supposed to be no bias. You were supposed to write with no, like, I remember taking a journalism class and it was you write with no bias. You state the facts. There should be no opinion in your article whatsoever.
Yeah. Or if you have an opinion from one side, you have another one from the,
Well, it was always the opinion should be from quotes, not yours.
Right.
You're supposed to be unbiased. You write the facts that you got, and that's it. I don't think there are any sources of that right now. Like even Jimmy Dore, it's an opinion, right? Like if I go Jimmy Dore, Russell Brand, Tim Pool, even like Young Turks, you do Tucker Carlson, you do name anybody. There's always a tinge of opinion now.
Yeah.
So where do I get just news from? Mm-hmm. It was so on the last episode, and by now this is going to be the episode that probably ran 2 weeks ago. Ann Coulter was on Bill Maher, Real Time with Bill Maher, and they were talking about the Kansas City shooting, and I don't know how many times the left is going to use this playbook and just have it backfire in their face. This is it's the same as the Harry Reid scenario. Only they use it for guns, right? So for those that don't know, Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Fuck them. Just going to put that out there. Won the Super Bowl, had their Super Bowl parade, and there was a shooting at the parade. Immediately, the left goes to work. A mother was shot. People, some children were shot. And it's guns, guns, guns. We need gun control. We need more gun laws. We need everything guns bad. And of course, the people, the paid celebrities on Twitter, or Stephen King talking about guns, Rob Reiner talking about guns, and of course on the other side, James Wood talking about, it's not the guns, it's the people.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, it ended up being gang violence.
Shocker.
And none of the guns were legal guns.
Yeah.
So no matter how many laws or what laws were put in place, it wouldn't have stopped that shooting.
Right.
And never mind. I mean, I was actually quite shocked that they didn't go for the white supremacy route.
Usually they do.
I think they were probably if the photos of the shooters hadn't gotten out, I think it might have got. And look, they still probably would have, because the last 7 white supremacy violent acts haven't been too white.
Yeah.
It's like why?
Well, there was the trans shooter at the Christian school.
Yeah. Well, and then there was another one.
They still haven't released that manifesto.
Well, they did. No, Crowder finally did.
Okay.
But then they had another trans shooter, I believe, in Kentucky, like 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. But it's like, none of this stuff seems to mesh with your. So then what they do is, then they put out a well-organized white supremacist rally with these guys with their faces covered in all uniforms, walking in a perfect fucking formation.
And they're all in, like, super fit, like...
Dude, it's like, have you ever seen white supremacists? They ain't that fit, man.
No, that's the funny... I forget what that group is called, but they
Patriot
show
Front.
Up. Yeah,
Patriot Front.
Dude, you look like you're feds.
Yeah.
Like, you look like you just came out of, Quantico.
Right.
You all have your 511 pants and your brown Merrill hiking boots.
They're probably in the academy.
Yeah.
And they said, today's assignment is
you're
going to go walking around with Nazi flags.
Today is false flag.
Right. Hey, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, there are some Nazi white supremacists. Seen them.
Yeah.
Especially if you go... Like, I don't want to knock Florida, but I saw them there.
Yeah.
Like, that's where... Like, that was my first encounter with them. Not encounter. Like, we drove by. They were on an overpass of a I think Interstate 4 or something. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. One of the state routes. I did see them though. I saw them with my own eyes. I was like, okay, but there was 3 of them,
right,
with a flag. Like, that's the organization I expect out of those assholes, right? Like, it's never what you think. Like, there was like a documentary. I think Vice did one or something about a guy named Bill Riccio or something, and like. He's like, they're exactly what you think they are.
Yeah.
They're the fucking hillbillies. Not well dressed, pressed. They're not wearing pressed khakis and brand new polo shirts with perfectly color coded scarves covering their face and hats and fucking sunglasses. Like, there's no uniformity to these people.
Yeah.
And it's like. But people, you see, there it is. Oh, I knew it existed. First of all, never mind the fact there's like 300 of them. Get the fuck out of here.
Marching in perfect formation.
Yeah. Like, no, like 100%. That is not what it seems. But they run the same playbook every time.
Who believes this shit?
A lot of people.
Like, I mean, I know, like, the boomers who still watch MSNBC and stuff, like, you're like, Woody, look over here. Look, they're doing it again. Like, who believes this crap?
It's the white guilt crowd. Which, by the way, I mean, if you really want to talk about white supremacy, there's only one group thinking that they're better than another to the point where they have to help another group.
Yeah.
Because they're not capable enough to help themselves. I mean, let's just put it out there.
Yeah.
I think it's people. I gotta think of a way to put this because the words are important. These people are so arrogant in their beliefs that they don't know how ignorant they are with the facts.
Yeah.
They are so positive that they're right. 100%. For example, Donald Trump, look, we know I'm not a big fan of that fucking jackass, but the guy's not wrong 100% of the time, right? Like, these people make you believe. He does an interview, and he talked about how the Russians beat Hitler in World War II. This guy goes on Twitter, posts the video, says, "I can't believe this dummy, and and people believe in him when he's saying that the Russians are the ones who beat Hitler in World War II." Like, he is that arrogant to believe that his statement is 100% factual, and everyone else that believes what Trump just said is the moron.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, for people that know their World War II history, the Russians lost more than any other country in World War II. They lost 20 million men. It's part of the reason why their population today is still so low.
Yeah.
They took out the Germans on the Eastern Front, which is what allowed the Western Front to basically come in from the backside and take them out and finish the war.
Yeah, because all the crack units were on the Eastern Front.
Right. And
And by 44, they were getting pushed back pretty good by the
They had taken
Russians.
taken a good part of the western part of Russia.
Yeah.
The Germans did. Mm-hmm. So yes, if you want, it is somewhat factually correct to say that the Russians had defeated Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I get that there's American exceptionalism taught in our schools, right? We didn't get taught all the... We probably got taught some of that part about Russia being that devastating in World War II. Mm-hmm. But not to the effect that they were.
Yeah.
We got the American exceptionalism version. Mm-hmm. We saved France. We saved Belgium.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we saved the British.
Well, even when they say...
Like, they didn't fight for, 2-3 years before we even got involved?
Yeah. Yeah, well, when you hear the nonsense from people like, oh, the French, we saved their asses twice, World War I and World War II. World War I was it was a grinder. It was a matter of time. There was really no reason for us to be involved in World War I. World War II, it was the Russians bore the human cost, and we pretty much made a bunch of shit, made a bunch of stuff. And now the Pacific side a little bit different. The Pacific was mainly a complete American. If you haven't watched it yet, The Pacific is a good series.
Yeah.
But Pacific theater was a little bit different. That was, I don't think the British and Australians, for the most part, could have really...
But that was the Japanese.
Yeah.
That wasn't the Germans.
Yeah. And one of the big enemies in the Pacific was just the weather. The jungle warfare, just a nasty, messy... But, yeah, you are taught that, and people be like, oh, we say there, and it's so much more complicated. And when you teach little kids, even high school kids, unless you get really into the subject, the easy way to say it is, we won World War II. Well, yes, we were on the winning side, and would it have been won without us? Probably not. But to go and say, oh, well, it was just us that won it. It was, there's big sacrifices borne by all the Allied powers. Not just the, we came in to, America, fuck yeah,
But I mean, my point to all this was that guy on Twitter was so convinced that Trump was lying because he hates Trump so much.
Yeah,
and he called everyone who believed Trump, cultists and maggots.
Trumpers, and yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, guy, and of course. Every comment underneath is like, hold up a minute. He's not factually wrong here.
Yeah.
You could, know how many things you could pick out that the guy probably said that was so out of whack, right? But you went hard on this one.
Yeah.
To make, you were doing it, you went so hard, you were going to prove everyone was stupid, and you and your side were the amazing, smart, so much smarter than everyone else. Mm-hmm. And you look like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
But, that's what I equate, it's exactly what I think of Bill Maher. He's so arrogant in his speech and his words and what he says. He was the one, and I remember this. As clear as day when I remember the night Trump won, Rachel Maddow was on MSNBC. I was watching MSNBC at the time. Mm-hmm. I was still knee deep in it.
Yeah.
And she just looks at, this is on you, America.
Yeah.
Thanks, America.
Yeah.
The fuck? The guy won an election.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry you don't like it, but your disgust for the people that voted for him is uncalled for.
Yeah. Yeah, and when they do that, they're calling millions of Americans, essentially to steal their term, othering them. It's okay though when they do it. So,
and they have no problem doing it.
No,
but the fact, when Bill Maher said on his show, "Okay, it's time to bury the hatchet," with Trump people, And, we're going to welcome them back in. And this is after the COVID stuff, like the whole thing where, like, the lab leak theory was now not conspiracy, that ivermectin was now not horse paste, that the COVID vaccines indeed did not prevent COVID transmission. Yeah, he was like, well, maybe some of these conspiracy theories weren't really conspiracy. And then he went on his diatribe of, we're going to have to, we're going to have to let these people back in.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker.
You were wrong.
You were the one that was wrong. And not only were you wrong, you were really, really, you were really assholes about it.
Yeah. And, well, there's another thing, an article I read about forgiving people for their COVID misgivings. Mm-hmm. Like, now that it's over, forgive people. Well, I never had anything wrong with, if you're driving around in a mask with you, in a car with your mask on by yourself, like, I'd make fun of you, but I never, disliked you or anything. Like, okay, great. Okay, we're all friends again. But it was just such, not to the people that were wrong about it, but to everyone who was right. Like, now you need to let us back. What about your clowns and sycophants saying you should die if you don't get vaccinated?
Right. Or
the President of the United States, a long, cold winter of death. That was probably dementia coming through. But
well, I mean, but the statements were, and Jimmy Kimmel, if you don't get vaccinated, you shouldn't get a hospital bed.
Yeah.
Jimmy fucking Kimmel.
Yeah.
On an evening talk show.
Yeah, that fucking piece of shit.
But I mean, look, you want to know who needs forgiveness? That fucking guy.
Yeah.
Or how about all the people that said, public servants, nurses who went through the bulk of COVID, who didn't want to get the fucking shot, should lose their jobs because of new job mandates.
Yeah.
Or police officers, or firefighters.
So they were getting rid of, the military was discharging highly trained people.
Yeah.
Pilots, special warfare operators, stuff like that, because they didn't want to get, and you're not talking about old people. You're not like Navy SEALs. These dudes are like physical specimens. And they might.
Well, and now it's widely accepted that young people shouldn't be getting it.
Yeah.
But you're going to forgive us. You're going to let us back in. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder why everyone has a fuck you attitude. Because you don't remember how much of an asshole you were.
I think they're so arrogant they don't care, or they think we're all too stupid and don't know.
Like it's that, but that, and that was the whole point. That's the arrogance level.
Yeah,
they don't see it.
Yeah, it
blows my mind.
They have absolutely no self-awareness. Like when you did something stupid, and maybe you're a bit of a dick or something, and then you see that person later, you're like, fuck, and then you walk hey, bro, I'm sorry, man, I was a little tuned up, whatever, didn't mean to say that or do that, and it's all you have awareness that these people, they would just walk right, here I am again.
It's literally like the conversation I have with my child. I literally I was like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're completely wrong. She was completely right. I looked straight at her and said, I was completely wrong and I apologize.
Yeah.
To my kid, right? Technically, I am more educated, supposedly smarter than her, and I got it wrong.
Yeah.
But my arrogance level was talking down to her at that level.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. And I immediately turned around, apologized immediately, and I might have gotten her a donut because I felt so bad, right? but they don't have that. They don't have that awareness.
Yeah,
that turnaround of, oh shit, I might have been wrong. I apologize for that.
And that's we're almost because it's not forefront in their world anymore. But we're all supposed to instantly forget. But this isn't 1992 anymore, where video and audio and proof is not easily just obtained on the internet. What stupid shit did they say that that they're pretending that didn't happen? Fiery, but mostly peaceful. Where's they are responsible for a lot of death and destruction and injuries, and that just because of the way they push certain stories and certain narratives, but they'll never admit it.
Meanwhile, they're trying to blame the libs of TikTok lady for literally just reposting TikToks.
Right. This is stuff that you did it.
Yeah. You're saying it. You're pissed off that she got that person more views.
Yeah.
Which isn't that the point? You put out the video to get views.
Yeah.
She got you more views, and now you're pissed at her for magnifying it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not mad at the person with the message. You're not mad at the retribution for the message. Mm-hmm. You're mad at the person who got the message more views.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand this logic. I don't understand the logic of any of it. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's not like there aren't receipts.
Yeah.
Like all of your social media posts, I don't care if you think deleting social media posts makes them disappear?
Right.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
There's something called archive.org. Mm-hmm. You can find anything that was on the internet.
Yeah.
Or someone generally has already screenshotted your shit.
Oh, yeah.
They screenshot shit. Even if you delete it within 5 minutes, someone screenshotted your shit.
Yeah.
Especially if it's that bad.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how this all ends. I don't think there's a reconciliation. It's almost like you live next to the person and you hold your nose while you do it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're going to be mean to that person, but you know what the person is now. Mm-hmm. You know you can't trust them.
Yeah.
But you got to live next to them because you can't afford to move or whatever the case is. You don't want to move. I don't know what it is. But you're just going to hold your nose and live with the stink.
Yeah.
And they're going to do the same with you. But eventually, though, that boils over into something. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying, I'm not going to be one of those, a civil war, it's coming. I'm not one of those fuckers.
First of all, people are way too lazy for all that shit.
I am. I certainly am.
Yeah.
Look, if we go into a Mad Max situation, you know what? 2 to the head, you can eat me. I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Waterworld, whatever that shit is, with hard living.
Yeah, any post-apocalyptic. Yeah. People are far too soft for that shit.
I ain't surviving that.
Yeah.
I hope my kids do, but they probably won't either. Let's face facts. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is at the end of the day. But we literally just keep living election to election, hoping shit doesn't pop off.
Yeah.
At this point.
Well, and then the other thing is, if anything should, on either side, when people get this fired up about a presidential election, it should tell them that the government is far too big and plays far too much of a role and is too, would be omnipresent in people's lives. If it gets you this fired up, that was not the intent of the founding fathers, was to have the federal government be this big and this, most people weren't even, the person they voted for was their congressman. And then senators were appointed by the governor. And then the congressmen and the senators, through the Electoral College, would select the president. It wasn't something where we'd all vote for the president. And it's if this is where we're at, well, maybe we need to re-examine government's role in lives and in the world. And,
the king doesn't give up the king.
Yeah.
The king doesn't give up the crown that easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It might look like a government.
Yeah.
But it's a king.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not the king of just the country. These people run the entire boat.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have, look, we're already 58 minutes in. We ain't going to get in the World Economic Forum and all that shit.
It'll be next episode.
Maybe. We might have to bring in an expert because I can't follow half of that shit. Yeah.
I just you will eat the bugs and you'll own nothing. Did you you found a Bond villain for this?
Dude, the stuff that comes out of those World Economic Forum meetings is straight up, if you just took the quotes and gave it to someone and you gave them true or false, did someone actually say this? They would say false to 8 of 10.
Or was this said in a real, big organization, real life meeting, or in an Austin Powers movie?
Ooh. Yeah. Movie quote or real life?
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that.
Yeah.
We should do like a little poll.
Yeah.
And to bring the poll on here.
Maybe visit the Driveway Beers on social media for that poll.
We might have to.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'll figure out how to do it. I got to figure it. Maybe I'll go door to door. Do an actual door to door. But hopefully, I mean, look, hopefully Assange, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen with that dude. That's where we started this whole thing, was Julian Assange.
Well, the thing is, if he gets extradited, he comes to the United States.
He's fucked.
And he'll spend the rest of his life in a supermax. No one will ever see him again.
He's going to suicide himself. He's going to Jeffrey Epstein himself.
Right. Or like Vince Foster, shot himself twice in the back of the head.
You know the weird thing is, man, they've almost made Jeffrey Epstein into a fucking sympathetic figure.
Yeah. He's a bad dude.
You literally made a child rapist into a sympathetic figure because you killed him.
Yeah.
And said it was a suicide. Like, you got to be...
How shitty are you that people prefer him to you?
Right. Like, someone is literally... You're more evil than a child predator.
Right. Like, Bill Gates is considered more evil than this guy is.
Man, that guy...
All those rich fuckers are considered more evil than the child rapist dude.
We're all fucked. It's crazy to me. We should definitely get Alex Jones on.
Globalists!
Well, that guy, though, like, have you ever seen him on a show? Dude, it's hard to listen to.
He goes all over the place. But the thing is, like, it would be so bad if half of his shit didn't turn out to come true.
I know. Right? It's like, dude, you got to stop talking because I can't have all this shit happen.
Yeah.
I don't need it right now. For my own, go back to last episode. For my own mental health, I need a break. Well, thank you for listening. If you can, like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you can on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, stop this episode right now. Give us a 1 to 5 star review. You'd be like Benny, give us a 1-star review.
Still a review.
Still a review. We still get put out in front of other people. We can be put out there as the worst podcast ever if we get all these 1-star reviews.
In fact, that would be quite an accomplishment.
Although we are highly rated in Guyana.
Oh.
We are apparently the number 26 podcast in Guyana.
Oh, we're international.
We are.
26 out of 25.
We are oddly international. I don't know how that happened, but somehow like we keep going up the charts in like the Philippines, Guyana, Ghana as well. I think we charted in Tanzania.
Okay.
Like, we're apparently very popular in Africa.
Good deal.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Thank you, African countries. We appreciate you. No, but thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next week.